And if he ain't got a good hygiene, dude, that's fucking, and you know what I mean? Then there's all ventilation, right? So anyway, man, final count, man, I'm taking a poop, man. And he's telling me, man, you sure are a pretty high yellow man. I'm like, what? So I hand him my paperwork, you know what I'm saying? Hand him my paperwork, man. Wash my hands. I'm like, man, what the fuck does that mean, man? He said, man, you're just a pretty high yellow man. You're the closest thing to a woman I'm ever gonna see, man, because I got double life. I'm like, man, you tripping, man. I ain't gay, homie. He said, man, check this out, man. I'm about to go up in your butthole, homie, because you got it all ready. I'm like, nah, dude, I had to take it. Shit, I ain't getting shit ready, homie. I ain't no homosexual, man. He said, man, you don't understand, man. I ain't never getting out, man. You a pretty motherfucker. I'm going up in your butthole.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. We've made it another week, and certainly hope everybody is doing well. There's a couple of things to go over here before your morning gets going. If you're on the West Coast, go back to bed. Now, actually hit that like button if you're in here. Also, I'm going to drop a new link into the description here. I should have had it all ready to go. I'm an official member of Rumble, and what I would like to happen is for you guys to come on over, and I'm going to leave the link in the description here, and hopefully you all join. I'm using StreamYards to do some of the podcasting, so see my new Rumble link. So if you don't mind, go ahead and click on that and head on over there. I did a test yesterday. Big shout out to J-Dub City. And for helping out, he came on over there and he said the sound was really good. It looked good. So go over there and make sure you sub. I've got a couple things uploaded, and I'll be uploading more as of today. I'm going to see if I can get some other stuff going on. But we got some topics to talk about this morning. It's huge week in gaming. Huge week. Microsoft went ahead and, told the fanboys over there at Xbox to get it ready. Everybody has broken down what they have said. And I'm not going to really break down what they said. I'm just going to have you all just concentrate on a few things that they said, because they told you all what the future is going to be, and it's not what they told you. It's just not. It's not going to be. If they want to do what they want to do, then they're going to have to do some different things. So we'll talk about that. Also, this Helldivers 2. I mean, it's a cultural phenomenon, right? And apparently there are more people, this is allegedly, buying and or watching the movie Starship Troopers. So I recommend, first of all, like I said, it's one of those movies, if you watch it, you'll be like, man, this movie was dumb, but it was fun to watch. And so this, if you're a fan of the Helldivers game, or if you want to see what Helldivers is about, that movie pretty much is Helldivers. And they took a lot of liberties from that movie, which is fine. It just means that movie got it right for them. Obviously, this is what inspired them. So go check that out. And I tried to play Helldivers last night 3 times, and each time I got on to try to play, I literally got some message in yellow that said servers tasked to capacity, try later. So I tried over a half hour. I think I tried 3 or 4 times, and I just could not get on. And I noticed that it's just weird times now. People are just having to find weird times to play. And with it being Saturday, everybody's going to be playing it. So I'm going to try to jump on after this podcast and play. Playing Starfield right now, attacking some mech factory. But after I get that done, if I can get that done, then I'm going to have to switch it over to play a little Helldivers. And anybody who wants to join me, you can. Just letting you know. But big shout out to everybody that's here this morning. Certainly hope you all had a good week. I mean, I know I had a real fun week listening to the Microsoft thing. A lot of people got exposed. People like MBG, Marlin Gaming Nation, a whole bunch of you. I don't know if you've seen. There's an actual complaint that's being filed against these websites and some of these YouTubers for I forgot, they called it a sensationalism or something like that. So and yeah, it got to me and I signed it because these guys were running around. These guys are running around saying this is horrible, this is terrible what Microsoft is about to do. And I kept on saying, can we at least wait to see what they say? And we saw what they said, and it's exactly what we told you was going to happen, which is they're going third party. And it literally became about what games were going to go third party, and that's not the important thing. What's important is that they announced 4 games. They didn't tell us what games they were, and that's fine. Now you have the speculation on what they are. I'm going to try to stay away from that. I know I did a podcast on it about a week ago, and if you all want to look that up, that's fine. But yeah, my days of speculating on what, I've told you guys that they were going to do this, that they had no choice because of they just aren't selling enough units. And when Sarah Bond got out there and said they have 34 million users, I'm like, it ain't enough. It sounds like a lot, but when they folded Gold in, that gave them like an extra 10 to 12 million. So we got that going on. We got the Fromsoftware story. I just didn't see it except for Zuby Tech. Shout out to Zuby Tech. I didn't see a whole lot of you all talking about this yesterday. So if you all don't know, we're going to look at that Fromsoftware. And it's 4 games. And now people are literally trying to downplay, well, it's only 4 games. And these are from the same group of people that told you it wasn't going to happen. I mean, I told you this was going to happen. I told you that they were going to have to do this. And yes, this is just the beginning. And that's why Phil Spencer said, we're only going to do 4 games and then we're going to learn. I mean, what that literally tells you. And you need also nobody on that stage. No, I'm trying to save this, but we'll get back into it. We have the Fromsoftware news. Everybody wants this remake of Bloodborne. Well, there was some news on that. Some of the first steps that got if you want it to be remade, some of the first steps happened yesterday or day before yesterday. Also, the Diablo 4 news, which is something else that we told you guys over here, which is that that there's tiers in Game Pass. Remember, I told you guys Game Pass is going to go up. That it wasn't that I didn't think they were going to get rid of the day and date stuff, but since they have tiers, let's go ahead and put this up on the screen here. So if you have, let's see here. There's an update here. So if you have, I'm trying to find Windows Central. But basically, Diablo 4 is coming, and let's see here. I'm trying to see. Okay, here it is. Here's your update. So let me put this on the screen for you. Well, not that. Got to get that off the screen. Let's go ahead and get this up here so you all can see what I'm looking at here. And screen capture. So if you can't read that update there, says Microsoft has clarified that only Xbox Game Pass for console and Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will be able to play Diablo 4 through Game Pass, as we told you. We told you that they were going to start, again, in order to drive, because, again, they got to make up the money, right? It doesn't matter that you got to make up the money. And how do you drive engagement? Sony did this as well with the Sony Movie Core, or whatever it's called. You can only access Sony Movie Core with, you have to have the premium service. You cannot be in Essential. You cannot be in the lowest tier to get that. But they're doing the same thing. So this is coming from Tom Warren. Doesn't matter if it's Tom Warren, Tom Henderson, Tom Hanks, Tom, right? They have a tier service, and it's going to go into the highest tier, the ultimate tier. So if you have basic Game Pass, you're going to start paying more money. This is what's going to happen with the day and date titles, is that they will only be in the higher services, which makes the most sense. So yeah, I did hear college football was coming back, Mike, which I'm ecstatic for, because I told you guys that what I used to do is I would go buy the college football game, and then I would go buy a college magazine, college football magazine. Then I would go ahead and put those, I would go to the top player screen, and I would put in the first 2 pages of the players' names. And most of the time, those were the players that got put to Madden. So Madden, what it would do is you could adapt, or you could import the college football class of juniors and seniors that are coming out, and then they would just be on your game, and you would draft from that. And if you did that for 2 classes, you would play Madden for 2 seasons, and that's the classes you would get. Now they do a very good job on Madden with the mods, as far as you can go and mod Madden and get those players. You know, you can get like I put in the top college players on Madden, and that's who I'm looking at. So yeah, I need to go ahead and play Madden. You know, I can play a whole lot today. I think I'm gonna push my 2-hour minimum to 4 hours, but I'm not gonna do it all in one sitting. I ain't doing that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and so this is a big deal, and nobody is talking about this except us over here. And well, top of the morning, make sure you go. Have you all signed up for my link yet? You all need to sign up for that link for Rumble. Okay? Just go and join. It's just like you join over here. Just like you join on Twitch. Just like you join on whatever. That's just, it doesn't cost any money. You just go ahead and hit follow. When I post stuff over on Rumble, you will be able to hear it. I'm still efforting a guest this weekend, big time nationally syndicated guest that has interviewed everybody, people like Tom Cruise and stuff like that, trying to get that individual on. So, I'm going to send him an invite here shortly to see if what's a good time for him, possibly tomorrow. So, but we'll find out. But again, if you don't know, yes, Diablo is coming to Game Pass. Okay, let's make that clear. However, it's only going to be in the top tier. And this is what I believe Microsoft, one of the pivots they made, one of the shifts in strategy, if you want to call it that. The shift in strategy is that they're going to still be putting games on Game Pass, but these games are going to more than likely go into the higher level of Game Pass. It is what it is, right? It's what it is. What's up, Briaros? Shout out to all the members that are here. J-Ro, Briaros, how you doing? So yeah, shout out to you guys. Appreciate you all being members, and what do you kids say? Holding it down. So, but Microsoft with Game Pass, if you have Ultimate, they have a big March. I mean, they've got Diablo, they've got MLB The Show coming out. So they got a pretty good sized March coming. So, but just in case you didn't know this, you must have Game Pass Core, and you must have access to multiplayer. All right? It says Game Pass Core is the tier service that replaced Xbox Live Gold last year and offers access to console multiplayer, as well as very limited selection of games. Will not include Diablo 4 access. So, okay. So it says, though there are those who said this day would never come, but here we are. Microsoft has revealed Diablo 4 last year's hugely popular entry, and that is a big game, into the Blizzard Entertainment icon, ARPG. I don't know if that means American role-playing game. I'm not sure. They're usually called WRPGs, but okay. It's coming to Game Pass. So you remember people were saying that none of the games from the ABK deal would go into Game Pass. That's not true. Diablo's going in. Got to have the highest level, though, and that's kind of where we're sitting with that. So let's take that story down and just come back on your comments on that. You know how we do it now. We do the stories, and then we come back and read the questions, and then we get on up out of here. What's up, Mr. Robert Downey? Oh, AB, how you doing, bro? AB is up early. So you're playing through the Assassin's Creed games, like like which ones? Like the kind of the reimaginings, the more open world one, or the classic ones. So because I haven't played Mirage yet, I've got to finish something else. So I got to finish something else. So. And if you don't know, if you have Game Pass, Resident Evil 2 and 3 are available in Game Pass. I already beat those games on a PlayStation, but if you have an Xbox and you have Game Pass, you can download both those games and go try to survive Mr. X, because that was crazy. So, and then in Resident Evil 3, you got to try to survive Nemesis. You have to survive the RPG ones. Well, remember, okay, so like Odyssey and Origins. Yeah, Odyssey is one of the best games I've played. And that game was up for Game of the Year. People forget about that. 2018 was a banner year for gaming. You had Spider-Man, you had God of War, you had all of it. All of it. Detroit Become Human, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It was strong. It was strong that year. Detroit Become Human. I said that. So. Here on Down Under says Helldivers 2 is a revelations for a traditional single player audience. Good night from Australia. Yeah, it's doing much better than I think Sony anticipated. So let's move to our next story, which is for all you people who just want to hit the triangle button in a game called Bloodborne. So let's see here. Let's go to Fromsoftware news. And no, they always ask about cookies. So, all right. So, you have to understand that Tencent and Sony, they own like close to 30% of Fromsoftware, I believe. And so let's go over here. Let's make this like this and go here. All right, so if you don't know this, Fromsoftware is now the sole owner of Elden Ring. And so if you all want an Elden Ring 2 where you can hit the triangle button, and if you all want a different Bloodborne game, now Sony, because Sony owns part of Fromsoftware, they're now owner of Elden Ring. So if there's going to be an Elden Ring 2, Sony could flex that and say, yeah, you know what? We only want Elden Ring 2 to be on our platform, at least for a time, for a time. So, and I've said before that get used to the term timed exclusives, because that's what everything's going to shift to anyway. It's timed exclusives. However, Sony will still keep their hybrid approach. And just because Microsoft says something's not, remember, exclusives were bad, but now they want Helldivers. So, I mean, they're complaining about not having Helldivers 2. So it's silly at this point. But if you didn't know this, because I didn't see a lot of people talking about it, I didn't. This is a big news. This is big news. So basically people spotted, there are people who are watching for trademarking, and they saw this. So I think it's great news that they they got this done. And so now Fromsoftware owns the Elden Ring IP. And Fromsoftware, because Sony and Tencent both have big capital investments into it, you can expect Sony to try to make an Elden Ring movie, I would say. But you need to go further than that as far as the game is concerned. Elden Ring 2 is going to probably be an exclusive. That's just the way it's going to be. Mario Heat, what are you saying? Resident Evil 2 and 3 are basically what now? Let's see here. Yeah. Survive guard duty on chocolate. Yeah, pretty much. That game was crazy, because when you least expect it, that dude would just be there. What do y'all call him? Mr. X? Whatever y'all are calling him. Like, oh my goodness. They don't have controlling votes. No, they don't have controlling votes. They don't own the company. They own part of the company. They own part of the company. That's what I said. 30% is not control. Never said they had control. said that they are partial owners of the company, and now that company owns that IP, which makes them co-owners of that IP. That's it. And when it comes to gaming, they will have a bigger voice, and that was part of the deal, getting the capital investment. So yeah, very good. It's a chance. There's a chance it's gonna happen. Everybody better get ready for it. Like I said, you got it already, so you better get ready for it. Al Capone, did you get that 240 QD OLED? Did you get that? Dag on if you did. So, so yeah, that is big news from Fromsoftware because and Sony. That is good. That is good news though. If you want, because I haven't played Elden Ring yet, never had. Just not into that type of game. I do know, however, that it is wildly popular. Won Game of the Year. So I mean, at Jeff Keighley's Game of the Year, it was Game of the Year. At his show was Game of the Year. So, Chocolate Thunder 4-play. Shout out to Paul Game. Yeah, on Thursday, it could have been. I got exactly what I thought we were gonna get. That's why I stayed away from. Well, they're gonna show this game. They're gonna show that game. It's like, no. I mean, there's some speculation, but let's wait and see what games they show or what games are coming. So, and we know there's 4 games coming. Don't know the games. So, but we'll jump into the next story, which is Helldivers 2, which apparently has made Phil Spencer or somebody at Microsoft, maybe possibly Phil Spencer, doesn't like the fact that they don't have access to that game, and that he's kind of miffed about it. Let's see if we can pull that story up. Let's see. Let's see here. Phil Spencer. There we go. Alrighty, there's several we can source here. Let's use this one. I don't think it's gonna ask for cookies. Okay, so verified me, yay! And let's go ahead and put this on the screen for you all. There you go. So Phil Spencer wants Sony to bring, Helldivers 2, I guess, is a Sony game. They own the IP. Now they hired Arrowhead to do the game. So it's an exclusive game. This is part of Sony's games as a service push. And says here that Helldivers 2 is not on Xbox. In a recent interview with GameFile, Spencer stated that he's not exactly sure who it helps in the industry by it not being on Xbox, even though he understands that there's a legacy in console gaming that we're going to benefit by shipping games and not putting them on other places. Now, this is the whole thing. Phil Spencer has pulled Elder Scrolls. He pulled Elder Scrolls. He pulled Starfield. He's money had it Stalker 2. Again, and I don't mind that Xbox is doing that. But for them to do that and then file a complaint, that's a bitch move by Phil Spencer. This is why you can't really, he's going to say what he has to say, and this is what he has to say. Because if you don't believe that the Xbox community is mad that they aren't playing Helldivers 2, you're crazy. They're comparing it to something called Pal World, and they don't even own the Pal World IP, and they're using Steam numbers. Now that Pal World has been surpassed on Steam by Helldivers 2, and so is Halo. Now they're just butthurt. And what Helldivers 2 is that game. For now. It may be something else next week with the PC community. So, but Microsoft is the ones who are going to have to relinquish games that, I mean, they bought publishers, and the publishers make games for everybody, and their money had in those games. So, and Phil Spencer said why, because they want, why is it okay for Microsoft to keep games exclusive and to add value to Game Pass and to the console, which I have no problem with? I mean, I want to make that clear. But at the same time, Sony does it, and it's, oh, well, they shouldn't be doing that. And that's what the only explanation I got is that Sony started this, which Sony didn't. When Microsoft first released their console 20 years ago, Knights of the Old Republic was only on Xbox. Halo was only on Xbox. It was. So for them to now claim that, well, this isn't, I don't understand and all that kind of stuff. So in one breath, he says he doesn't know how it helps, but though he says he understands, there's a legacy. So, I mean, that's why. Because Jim Ryan's legacy is not going to be buying a publisher. Jim Ryan's legacy is Helldivers 2. And I've always said, I gave Jim Ryan a B+ because the games as a service thing, this is a home run. Helldivers is a home run. However, Foam Stars, maybe not so much, but Foam Stars isn't catered toward adults. Now, a bunch of kids, allegedly, are playing Foam Stars. That's all I know. Don't know the number, don't care, okay? But because it's not for me, and it's okay for them to make games not for me. The problem with you all listening to fanboys is fanboys think everything is about them, and it's not. It's just about it's not. They represent maybe 10, 15% of the gaming community in each group. But because they have podcasts and they have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 subs, they they sound like they have more than they do. So says here, Helldivers 2 has seen on PC, proves that PlayStation may benefit from eventually releasing more of its games to other platforms. The company already seems keenly aware of that too. So apparently, I don't know if there's been any statements, but according to this, it says that it's doing just well, if not better, on PC. Now, again, I couldn't get on yesterday. I could not get on yesterday, and I tried. Granted, it was 11 o'clock at night, or it was 10 o'clock at night Eastern time. So it appears to be right behind Fortnite and Call of Duty. So again, I don't follow these numbers. I don't know how they track this stuff, but MAUs is much more important to Microsoft than Sony, even though they are important to Sony as well. I've always said, what's more important between drafting an offensive lineman and a wide receiver like the Bengals did a few years ago between Penei Sewell and Jamar Chase? And I would have drafted the offensive lineman because your chief asset is Joe Burrow, and he's been hurt 3 out of the 4 years he's been in the league. He's not 2 of the years he hasn't finished the season. They're starting to call him Glass Joe. So that's the truth, right? So, but we don't have to worry about them launching day and date on PC. That is just something that I know Porter Rock's gonna do a video on it. William Aguilar, he did a very long but detailed post on Twitter, formerly known as X or whatever, X now Twitter. Dreddy Bean said he saw Chocolate Thunder in Marlon's background. Oh, all right. Well, like I said, Marlon was one of the people who was up in arms. I mean, he was, right? I mean, I'm not going to talk bad on him, but he was one of the many people going crazy. They can't do this. They got to fight. They got to fight. I mean, he was the one adding to the hysteria. And that's why, again, you guys are listening to him. How do I know he says this? Because people send me clips. That's the only way that I know that he says this stuff. Because I don't watch him. I can't. Too blue pill, too much effeminate energy for me. Just it is what it is. Somebody sent me a clip where he said they need to remake the games that we want. No, they're gonna remake the games that they think are gonna sell. Period. Mario, he says just the tip. Yeah, Phil, just the tip, Spencer. Yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah. Capono says they can't stop watching, complain about how gaming ain't the same anymore. Well, it shouldn't be either. Gaming, when I grew up, it's Sony and Nintendo are still doing that. That's the way gaming was when I grew up. You went to the store, you got a cartridge, and you all are getting discs or downloading it digitally. But the point is that, and I've started more digital downloads. I mean, Cyberpunk for me, digital download. The Last of Us 1 and 2, digital download. Okay, and again, I still plan on buying the 2 discs for The Last of Us part because I'm gonna have an all PS5 library, and that's why I bought the PS5. But I also understand I'm going the way of the dodo bird because I mean there aren't hardly any games at Best Buy, but because what they're doing is they're just keeping them back where you go to customer service. When you see something you want, you have to just say, oh, okay, do you all have a copy of XYZ's video game? And then they'll go back there and get it for you. They say it's anti-theft. So, but it is what it is. So, plus Ultra said he was up spreading managed democracy. Yeah, I mean, at least you all got on there. I couldn't. At least where I was connecting, they was like, yeah, you ain't getting on. You two. And again, I'm seeing people running around with different kind of armors, with droids, with automated droids and stuff like that. So again, I'm a far away from that, right? I'm far away from that because I'm like level 4. So yeah, they had platinums, yeah. So, but yeah, so for me personally, I think people like that, adding to the, like they said, the sensationalism, the hysteria. And it didn't do anybody any good because they were going to have a presser, and then we saw what they did, and we still don't know what games are coming. We don't know. So when I was on, we've moved into this already, because I know this is what everybody wants to talk about. When I was on Crossfire Thursday, D Batch was on there, and in one swoop said, we don't know what games are coming. But then when he was in his little back and forth with Porter Rock, that changed to, these are 4 small games. And that's why I stepped in and said it's not about, and that's how they changed the conversation. The conversation went from no games to, oh, these are small games. We don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. The story isn't what games it is. That's why I said on Crossfire. Put a 1 in the chat if you listen to Crossfire. But if you don't, make sure you do. Make sure you listen to Crossfire Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Also, make sure you hit my Rumble page, okay? Yeah, make sure you go to Rumble, you sign up. There's the link right there. And they're calling it Philium. Yeah. But I don't know. Again, that's nothing against D-Bash, but in one breath, it was, we don't know what games are coming. Then it was, well, these are small games. So, that's what he said. But if you don't know what games are coming, then then how do you know they're small games? You see what I'm saying? That it is what it is. At least Mooch gets one Xbox gamer on the show. Well, I didn't think D was on the show to argue. I thought he was on there to kind of talk about what Microsoft's strategy was. And I did agree with him in a sense that more games are going to come. He said that himself. Yeah, I agree. We just don't know what games they're going to be. Now, my explanation to D was, did you have a group of people, the quote-unquote ponies, talking about, well, it's going to be Gears, it's going to be, yeah, because they want to finally shut these guys up. Your Colt Eastwoods, your Dealer Gamings, these guys that have been, people that in the minds of other people have been misinforming people on purpose. So again, it is what it is. But yeah, I get it. There's people, when they don't get what they want, they take to social media and they complain. So Foam Star is a streamer game. They need YouTubers and VTubers to play that game. Yeah, I mean, I don't deny that. So I have no idea what's going on with that game because it's not for me. So, not for me. Eventually, Craig will have to get the PS5 Pro. Well, I think it'll just automatically do it. So, complain about the same thing for 45 minutes. It's annoying. Again, because the donos are coming in on that. People, these YouTubers aren't stupid. They get strategy guides, and you get help from the YouTube community on what to do. Like YouTube told me to start doing YouTube shorts. You know, increase your presence. Do YouTube shorts. Blah, blah, you know, so and that's but I just this is a hobby. You know, just sitting here talking is this talking about gaming, that's a hobby. I don't you know, if somebody donates something, I always say donate a like, donate a share. But yeah, you don't have if you know, that's it. Now I'm coming out with my own store, and if you want some quality shirts, then yeah, you will have to pay for that. However, you will get free shipping if you're a member. You still got to pay, you know, but you're gonna, you know, for a t-shirt or for a mug and a pillow, the pillow is gonna be a cheek busting pillow. After if you get your cheeks busted, I'm gonna have a soft pillow for you. So that's the plan. So, but my niece is having to help set up the store, and she doesn't live here. She lives she's out of the state. So she'll come over and get it. So you don't see putting these 4 games on PlayStation really moving the needle. Well, again, you need to understand it's a first step. It's a first step. These 4 games, whatever they're going to be, because I'm not going to get into the whole, well, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. I will say this, that did shut down all the speculation. So, and Phil Spencer did say they had planned on doing this in the spring and making this announcement, but they had some unforeseen things, which are the leaks that came out. So they addressed them. So make sure you go to Rumble and make sure you join up. It's free. So let's see here. What else are y'all saying? Basically, if SIE wanted, they could offer Fromsoftware a big publishing deal and a lot of PS5 exclusives without buying the whole company. Correct. If there's an Elden Ring Part 2, Sony could walk in there and say, we would like to publish the game. We'll publish it to PlayStation and PC. Now, they can still publish it day and date. But because they don't own that game. I think that game is by Kadokawa, whatever it's called. They just own part of the company. And the Kadokawa said that one of the things they're looking forward to with Sony is the gaming and the movies and TV shows they can make. So, well, yeah, that's cool. Hi-Fi will do good. That's if it's Hi-Fi Rush. But yeah, I don't disagree. I think Hi-Fi Rush does at least 1 million. I mean, I think they can do, on the Nintendo Switch, they can do 700,000, maybe more. And then on the PlayStation, could they do 275 to 300,000? Yep, I think they can. So I think they do at least 1 million. So let's see here. These 4 games are, if they sell well, Microsoft will see the money and do more. Yeah, because, and here's why. Here's why they're going to do more. Because nobody up there on that stage has final say. Okay, that's Satya Nadella. And if he wants it, they're going to do it. So we'll have to wait and see how this all works out. But yeah, I expect more games to come eventually. So, and this is their third party. And I get what Phil said what he needed to say. Then he did an interview and said, well, we're not going to rule out any game potentially going to another platform. It's like, yeah. I mean, that's because that's Satya talking. You got Phil Spencer talking. And then you got Satya Nadella talking. And Satya Nadella's like, no, we're going to put it everywhere. There ain't nothing Phil can do because Satya signs Phil's checks. That's who signs Phil's check. Sarah's check. Matt Booty's check. Okay? It does not say Phil Spencer. It says, you know, if you got a check, everybody's direct deposit now. But if you got a check, that's exactly what it would do. So they have to put games everywhere. They've spent a lot of, this is a direct result of them buying Activision, Blizzard, and Bethesda and then not moving enough units. I agree. So, I mean, I don't disagree with what they're doing because to me, it makes business sense. Again, if I got an ice cream truck and I got 10 flavors of ice cream that are not selling well, and then I go ahead and I put the ice cream in a corner store, and that 10 versions of that ice cream, crazy ice cream, starts to sell, that's a good thing. because now I don't have to waste it. I'll be like, okay, this is gonna go directly to the store, and the truck we're gonna still have ice cream sandwiches and ice cream cones and stuff like that. But these ice creams, these 10 ice creams, they're gonna go into this store, and that way they can sell it and let whoever owns the store put a sign up, crazy ice cream now on sale. 10 different flavors. So stuff like that, The Satya is still miffed that the Xbox division cost him bonuses, if true. I don't know if he's miffed, but but yeah. He wants that division to make money like all the other divisions. And Phil Spencer convinced him to spend damn near $1 billion in order for that to happen. Now Satya Nadella wants this to bear fruit. That's all there is to it. Oh yeah, somebody else said Hellblade. Yeah, Hellblade 1 is on PlayStation. Why not Hellblade 2? And again, I'm just saying, for him to say, I don't know what good it does, okay, I agree with Phil Spencer. I don't know what good it does either. However, I don't understand why he pulled Starfield, why he pulled those other games. If you're going to make that statement, then you're going to have to put those other games back out there. That's all there is to it. Phil said no, and start. Yeah, I know. For now, he just know what he said was these first 4 games he could confirm it's not Indiana Jones or Starfield. He never said those games will never come. He doesn't say that. Matter of fact, he says quite the opposite. We're not going to rule out any game going to another platform. So nothing is ruled out down the road, but for now, yeah, those games are ruled out, and that's fine. That's fine. So, yeah, it's business talk. I don't even call it hypocrisy anymore. It is just flat out business talk. You tell one audience one thing, you tell another audience a different thing. You make it so that you have an escape clause. And so when those games do eventually come, Phil Spencer will say, "Well, I always said, that it was nothing was off the table." You see what I'm saying? I said that those two, we can confirm that those 2 games are not coming, and they're not coming. So he's not lying about that. They're not coming right now. See, he never said Starfield, Indiana Jones, Hellblade 2. He never said what I'm about to say, which is those IP will never go to another platform. He never said that, and the reason why he didn't say that is because it's not his decision. That's why. It's not his decision. So, Phil is Chocolate Thunder in the multiverse. Okay. He probably pretty much is. He pretty much is. So, I mean, hopefully that makes sense to you on them going third party, because number one, they need to. They have to spread their wings, so to speak. Number one, they got to spread their wings. Number 2, they should. This is just the beginning. Nobody believes that they're only going to do 4 games and shut that down. Nobody believes it, even them. Nobody believes it. So hence why Phil Spencer said what he said. So, and Sarah Bond was like, "Oh well, but you got games like Fortnite, and you have games like you have these games, and those games are big. Those I agree. I agree. I agree. And Sony has capitulated some things. They're doing crossplay now. So, I mean, again, that's just the truth. Would I like to see them open up crossplay with Xbox? Yeah. Are they going to? Maybe. You don't hear Sony coming out with a press release saying it'll never come out for them. Sony could leverage it and say, well, you know what? We will sit down and talk to Microsoft about this. However, Phil Spencer and Microsoft had pulled games off of the PlayStation platform that were slated to come. And, if you'd like to talk about those games, and we'll look at this PC game, this always online game, which is what this is, that because they're in the Azure servers. So here they are having success. It's like somebody come to your house and partying and not inviting you. That's pretty much what's happened. So yeah, I mean, I don't put that past Sony to do something like that, because Sony does still want Jim losing Starfield was a big deal, and I get what people are going to say, that game's trash, all that kind of stuff. Jim Ryan didn't think so. He tried to get that game exclusive for a year. So that's one reason people said that Microsoft bought Bethesda is so that Sony wouldn't do that. So I don't. And who knows if that's true? It's like alligators in the sewer, right? The bots believe it's only 4 games. Well, I mean, they're not wrong. Technically, it is only 4 games. So they're not. I want to make that clear. They're not wrong about that. So you're not worried about the companies playing you like a fiddle. Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, well, no, you're on PC, so AMD and NVIDIA and Intel do play you guys like a fiddle. They do. So, yeah, it's on the Azure server, Sergeant 12, and it's not on Xbox. So I don't blame Phil Spencer for saying what he said. However, that door swings both ways. And he needs to understand if he's going to say, because he brought up the whole legacy thing. It's like, okay, well, why are you complaining if you are pretty much saying, I understand it? He could just simply say, I don't like it, which is what he's pretty much said, but he said it in a business manner. I don't understand why, or, what good does that do? That is business talking. That's what a businessman talks. Okay. Everything's a gray area, therefore nothing can be confirmed or denied. So that's kind of it is. So NVIDIA did put a what into your account? Is that a deal? So, but yeah, those guys play you all like fiddles. $1,500 for a damn GPU, and then they come out with a new one 8 months later. That's crazy. So I understand people building a PC if you want to get. I've always said I stopped at the 3060, but for you guys, you all maybe need to go up to a 3080 if you get a NVIDIA card. If you get an AMD card, go to at least a 6800. Okay? Do that. So, but yeah, you got people out here on this sensationalism, then trying to say it was all lies. Where was the lie? Who lied? I mean, I want to know who lied. I do. Because I saw people saying that they were going to release games to other platforms. That's what we got. I was told, 3 to 4, but that could be increased to 5 to 7. We got 4. Now what we don't know, and we don't know this, is how is what games. Now everybody's back to kind of guessing what games. So it is what it is, right? It is what it is. 4080 will rock your world. Yeah, that's why I tell people you really don't need a 4090. The 4080 is good, but if you can't afford neither one of them, the 4070 will do just fine. So if you can't afford the 3090 or the 3080, get the 3060, and that will do this fine. You just tell it to do that deep learning, super sampling, and blah, blah, blah. So, what was misleading there, Sergeant 12? Sammy Odyssey says, would Phil say the same about Helldivers 2 if it wasn't doing as well? Oh, I don't know. That's speculation. There's an objection, Your Honor, speculation. We don't know what he would say. Because the game is a bona fide hit. And it's obvious that they didn't expect this type of... they just have to buy more cloud space, don't they? They have to go to Microsoft and say, we need more cloud space. Microsoft isn't going to say no, because it's a business. They got a business to run. It is what it is. It is what it is. But it's 4 games for now. This is kind of where I hold my powder. It's easy to say, well, there's going to be more than that if they sell well. Yeah, that's pretty much the consensus thought, And like people have said, now that and I do expect, I agree with D-Batch, for these games to come out. I expect Starfield and Indiana Jones to eventually come out. Eventually, but I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath. But it is what it is. So put it that way, it's even funnier. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. So, yeah. The video they put a dent in your account. Yeah, I mean, I know. So they are playing you all like fiddles. So, just like, what now? Just like Game Pass managed to sign a deal with Crunchyroll. Okay, yeah. All right, it was fun. It was Funimation that Sony shut down, right? I know they shut down something. That's why I'm not a big fan on digital content, because now, I mean, I don't know how you would save that digital content. I don't know if you can put that stuff on like a USB. I don't know how that works. So they're going to have to come up with a way to, even though they shut it down, people still should have access to it. But you buy digital content with the understand, or you get digital content with the understanding that you don't own it. You don't own it. That's just, it is what it is, right? They're third party, and that's fine. They're third party. Putting games everywhere makes you third party. I mean, if you're gonna get into the weeds with it and say, well, it's not a whole lot of games, that's crazy. You know, that's like saying that your wife cheated on you, but you know, my wife gave another man a blowjob, but she did not swallow, therefore it doesn't count. It's your third party, and it's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with what Microsoft was doing at all. And here comes the obligatory. Sony will copy Microsoft. See, it's automatic. They go right to that. Okay, we'll find out. That is speculation on your part. So, I mean, that's not what they have said, but we'll find out. You know, I mean, is Sony going to release more games to PC? Yeah, they are. But you know, I like The Last of Us Part 2 came out in 2020. Ghost of Tsushima came out in 2020. So I'm actually surprised. So it's 4 years this year. 4 years. And those games still aren't over there. So again, they're coming. They're coming to PC, but they're 4 years old. So, and yeah, I believe the PC does well with the modding. Days Gone with those mods looks phenomenal. I don't know if you all have seen Days Gone on PC. Looks wow. So but yeah, I mean, The Last of Us Part 2 could be, like I said, The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 could be modded where Deacon St. John is walking Ellie around. So I mean, it could happen. Now, I like Days Gone. However, I didn't like the fact that you couldn't change clothes. I mean, that the mods, I think, allow him to change clothes. Like, they got like 5 or 6 different outfits. I think they should have 1 outfit, 2 outfits per day of the week. So I'm asking for 14 outfits, and I do believe they have different outfits on PC. So just like in Mass Effect on PC, the older versions of Mass Effect, it had different kind of armors on PC. It was modded in there. So why would the first place company follow the company in last place? Yeah, I don't know. That's what I've said before. I don't know. I don't know where they get it from, Corey. It's automatic that when Microsoft does something out of necessity, Sony's gonna have to do the same thing. It's a coping mechanism. Okay, I'm not gonna call it coping. I work in the medical field. That's a real coping mechanism. All right, it's well, you have to do it too. You have to do it too. You know, it's just like I know a guy who got in trouble, who got underwater with his credit cards. This is 20 years ago, and he ended up filing bankruptcy. And it's kind of like, okay, you all filing bankruptcy, and then he said to 2 people, well, you need to do it too. You need to do it too, because he was doing it. And we looked at each other like, well, we don't have to do that. So, and that's what this whole thing with Sony is. So, but I mean, you can't see the future, and I never say never, but so it's easy to say they're going to do the same thing. Okay. You're good with mod. Yeah, see, I've only been able to mod like DCS. I was able to mod the F-22 on there. I got that to work. I still didn't understand how I did it. But I rebooted DCS, and all of a sudden the F-22 mod was there. I'm like, wow. Unfortunately, it only has like 3 missions. I'm like, yeah, they got to get more missions for this thing. But it's a mod. It's not really a true flight model, allegedly. Because the way the F-22 flies and stuff like that, it's still classified. So, but yeah. And remember, DCS, guys, isn't a game. It's a realistic military flight simulation. That's what DCS is. Phil Bosch said it's cap. No, I don't think it's cap. I just think it's there's an automatic, well, they're gonna have to do the same thing. I don't know where that comes from. Like, it's like based on what metric, or you guys are looking at different metrics. That's what I've said before, is that the only thing that Microsoft and Sony have in common at all, is that they both make games. That's it. So Sony didn't spend $80 billion. Yeah, they have to get that money back. That's all. Shout out to Captain Ply in the house. Phil Spencer could not name an Xbox game going to PlayStation because Sony said no. No, that's not true. There's games coming. There's games coming. So Sony has said yes. Now, I don't think Sony can unveil what games they are. I think Phil Spencer made a point saying that our studios are will unveil that at a later date, probably in the spring. That's why they were waiting on the spring to do the announcement. But we'll wait and see. Spring is 6 weeks away. 6 weeks away from the springtime. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, people should not be upset about that. Show what link are you talking about? The link where they talked, the actual show, that's just, you can pull that up yourself. This Microsoft press conference, I think it's what it's under. It's on YouTube. But not unless you want the link to my Rumble page. Is that what you're talking about? Make sure you all join Rumble for me. Make sure you hit, so that when I upload stuff, you get it. So, what's up, Kenneth? Gaming industry is changing, evolving. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not here to say it's not. It's been the same since 1976. Inevitably it's going to change. It's changed already with all the digital content. But and I still remember going to the store, get midnight launches, then they changed the midnight launch to 9 o'clock launches because people didn't want to be up that late. So no, I mean, it is changing. There's more digital content purchased than physical, and that is bleeding over for this form of entertainment. It used to be with Hulu, you had to pay $10.99 or $9.99 to get Hulu next day. Now it's just standard practice that all these companies that stream the next day, you get your show. They got a lot of nerve after Microsoft acquired Bethesda ABK to remove popular shooters. Yeah, I agree. Now they are port begging for Helldivers. Well, yeah, but I don't know what else Phil Spencer was supposed to say. I don't know what else Phil was supposed to say because he did say the whole quote is he understands legacy and why you would want to do stuff like that, pretty much. And that's why I said Phil Spencer is a consummate businessman. So I mean, again, he has to be. So that's why I'm like, I agree with what they're doing. I'm not the guy that's going to say the games are going to be big, small, or they're going to be trash. I know the games I would try if they put them on, and that's all I can do is try them. So one of them is Hi-Fi Rush. But again, we don't know what games are coming. So how PlayStation Plus has more subs. Yeah, we know it has almost, is it 3 times? 4 times. Because they have 32 million and PlayStation Plus has 123 million. So 32 goes into 123. How many times? Like 4 times, give or take. So they have 4 times the subscribe base. They sold more PlayStations. They sold more PlayStations in 1 year than Xbox has sold in 4. It was something like that people were saying. So yeah, now let me make this clear. With Sony's financials, they did not hit the number that they projected. They still moved a lot of units. But if I tell you I'm going to move 10 units and I only moved 8, I underperformed. I came under the projection. So and what did I say? If you miss the projection, then what will happen is what you saw, which is Sony stock will take a dip. And I hope you bought it at 86. That's all I can say. Sony stock took a dip, and you should have bought it 86. I bought Sony stock at 46. I bought it at 46. So I think Sony wants to do that announcement. Well, I think it's Microsoft's announcement to make there from Phil, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, now after they announce it, Sony can put out a press release saying, happy to announce that, Microsoft first party. I mean, they're going to say first party game. Make no mistake about it. They're going to say Microsoft's first party. Microsoft's first party games. This, and this, or this and this, or this is going to be coming to PlayStation on this date. Go to the PlayStation Store to, what's it called? To pre-download or whatever you guys do there. So, Sony forgot something very important to move units, a roadmap. Yeah, they've got a roadmap. So, And again, what they said, they just simply said there ain't going to be no, like, you're getting a Spider-Man New Games Plus. You got The Last of Us Part 2 Remake Remaster. That's one of the top-selling games in the world right now. You got the God of War free DLC. I mean, I don't know what else, people are wondering, what's Sony been doing? Don't worry about it. Play the games. I mean, I'm buying, before I buy, you know what I'm going to do? I need you all's help. I'm going to put up another poll here. Make sure you vote in this poll. Got 74 votes. So 98% of you are surprised at the Xbox announcement. So what surprised you? But I got to start a new poll. Okay? Hold on. Wait just a minute. In poll. All right. Start a new poll. All right. Which game should I purchase first? So you all know this is going to be Rise of Ronin or Dragon Dogma. And start poll. All right, so that's a much tougher one, guys. Which game should I purchase first? So I need you all to donate either one, whatever it's called. Donate an answer to that. So Sony about to put out Forbidden West, so you're good for a while when that comes. Yeah, that game's 2 years old. That game's 2 years old this week actually. Didn't it come out like February 18th or something like that? So right now, make sure you all vote. I see the votes tallying up. So you already have Final Fantasy VII and right in your queue. Wow. 2 choices, 2 typos. So make sure you all vote. 10 votes right now. Rise of Ronin is ahead. So make sure, because I put Dog Man. My God, I can't spell. You all know what I meant, Dogma. So is it 30? I don't know. Is that true about the whole 30 FPS on consoles? Because if that's true, that's an L. But I don't know. I mean, some people said, no, it wasn't. The console version is at 60. So we'll have to wait and see if it comes with a performance mode. So Capono saying it's only 30 frames. That's bad news then. That's why the poll looks like it is. What is Rise of Ronin? Have they announced what it's going to be? Let's see here. Don't let Phil off the hook. What about Helldivers 2? I'm not. I think Phil Spencer is a businessman. That's what I think Phil Spencer is. Phil's a businessman. So I have no issue with him the way he's doing business. I would do it differently, but I'm not Phil. Okay? I'm not Phil. PC and on a 4090. Well, see, I'm envious of the 4090 people. What are you gonna do when the 5090 comes out though? You don't think it's been confirmed? Yeah, I don't think it's been. They said uncapped. Okay, so all right, that's different than. All right, so yeah, Dragon's Dogma looked interesting to me. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Phil the Tip Spencer, the master of giving. Yeah, Phil Spencer is something else, man. 30 FPS on a 4090. Wait for modders. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I'm waiting to see what exactly it is. But getting back to Microsoft going third party, yeah, I don't have an issue with Microsoft being third party. So I don't. I mean, you have people come in here saying they're not third party. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They're putting games on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. They're third party. So that's all platforms and PC. So I think that's fine. I'm not. It's okay, guys. I mean, if you're still in that ecosystem, because they're going to keep making hardware, so that means you're going to always have exclusives in that ecosystem. However, you saw what happened with Diablo 4, with them putting that in the highest tier in Game Pass. Y'all gonna have to fork out some more money per month, and it looks like I said, $20 a month. Looking at over $200 a year. So just for no ownership, but it is what it is. So you couldn't super chat Sarah Bond. Yeah, she's a cutie pie. She's cute. I like that Sarah Bond. She's cute. So, and she's part of she's in charge of Xbox, isn't she? Isn't that with the promotion she got? Sony publishes MLB on other platforms. No, they don't. They don't directly publish MLB to those other platforms. Those platforms have to buy it. They have to buy a port of it, and it gets ported over. You also wanted Matt to shake his booty. Yeah. They want him to do something different. Want to do something different. All right, guys, we've been here about an hour, a little over an hour. Just looking to see if there's anything else to add, and just looking at your comments. MLB published the game on other platforms. Yeah, I think it's published by MLB. Sony publishes it to PlayStation. So, and they make the game. They have the contract. There's no reason to get rid of that contract. MLB, each one of those teams at MLB is worth $1 billion. So you're doing business with a 32, 34, whatever it is, $1 billion entity. That's business. So remember you had the fanboys saying, "Oh, they need to quit making the game," and the game is one of the top selling games of the year, has been for the last 2 or 3 years. So why stop making that game? That's stupid. And they get 70% of what's done on the Xbox. They get 70% of what's done on Nintendo. They get 70% of what's done on PC. That's reality. So, but guys, are there any other questions or comments about the week that was? The success of Helldivers, Ruffling Feathers, the Fromsoftware news. If you don't understand that, Fromsoftware has purchased or has gotten their hands on the Elden Toilet Ring game. Now they own it. So if there's going to be, and Sony owns part of that. So, so let's see if Sony does a publishing deal for the next Elden Ring. I'm going to say Elden Scrolls. So they formed a partnership with Seagate, the SSD people. Well, okay. I didn't know that. Shout out. Yeah, Sony out here making moves. They also got another exclusive game, didn't they? Forgot the name of it. I should report that. They got another exclusive game to publish. I forgot the name of it, though. Xbox going after PS games via other publishers. Well, again, PlayStation doesn't own MLB. They simply have the license to make the game. And Death Stranding, again, that's Kojima's game. Sony has hired him to make that game. Sony needs to buy Square or Remedy. I assume that's what it is. I think they should buy Remedy. Square, they already have a good working relationship. But Remedy, yeah, I've said that years ago. So it's an indie game already on PC, but coming to PS. Yeah, I forgot the name of that game, Mario Heat, but it's a significant other game. I don't know if it's a games as a service. If that's part of it. Yeah, Forever Skies. Okay, so let's look up what that is. So let me look that up, because I kind of dropped the ball on that. Let's see here. Forever. Yep, Sky. So it's a survival game. Looks like there's a blimp. Let's see here. Let me see what you can do. It's a first-person sci-fi survival game. Okay. So it is a single-player game. Let's put it on the screen here. All right. So yeah, it's a survival game. So all right. Well, got another one coming. So developer Far From Home details how real-world planetary conditions inspired the post. All right. So there it is. All right. So we'll have to see what it's about. Build, survive, and scavenge. Okay. So wow. So some studies even suggest that to breathe clean, unpolluted air, people would have to go 100 meters above the cities. Wow. All righty then. So looks like decades later, a select group of humans who fled into orbit dispatched a research team back to Earth to discover, marking the beginning of the story in Forever Sky. Okay. So, all right. So it's a survival game. All righty. Well, again, so that's one more game you're getting. So it's good. It's successful on PC, maybe PS5's Pal World. Okay, well, yeah, we'll wait and see. But guys, that's it. Forever Cheeks, yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you. I know there's other podcasters coming on in about another 15, 20 minutes. That What's Up PlayStation with Persona and Jay Barry. So I believe they're streaming this morning. So make sure you all check that out as well. So that's all I had for you. It was, like I said, about an hour and 15 minutes long. So, yeah, I think Sony, you can see they're buying the games from the studios. They're not buying the studios, so they don't have to pay the staff. The staff just, oh no, they did it with Shift Up as well. They're publishing Shift Up's game, but it's Shift Up's game. So we'll have to wait and see. But all right, guys, I appreciate you being here, and I will talk to you guys later. Till then.